All right, welcome to tonight's uh, shortened podcast. We're going to do a tournament results here on the San Diego Bass Fishing Podcast. Welcome, everybody. I would okay. So, Bryce, how do you pronounce your last name? Because I annihilated it when I tried to say it in an earlier podcast.
It's Bryce Deheyn.
Deheyn. Okay, I got you. Bryce Deheyn. Thank you very much. Okay, so I'd like to welcome Bryce Deheyn to our podcast. Bryce is an up and coming star. He's a part of the juniors club here in the SoCal Juniors Club here in San Diego. I believe you're first in Angler of the Year points, right?
Yeah, I am.
And then you were first this last weekend.
Yes, that is correct.
And you were I'm gonna keep going here. And you were first the previous 2 weekends ago at Havasu.
Yeah,
And
and
that qualified you to go to nationals.
yep. And then before that, Big Fish and second place at Otay.
Nice. You got second place at Otay?
Yeah,
Yeah, my daughter was third. You guys were in that other boat.
yeah.
I heard about that.
I should have had first.
Yeah. Big one jump off. Another big one.
Yeah,
I heard it was pretty crazy.
it was shad
Yeah.
bite. It was insane.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what Adam was telling me. I fortunately had a guide trip that day. I missed it. Okay. So, can you give us a rundown? Let's go ahead and start with, if you want to start with Otay, then that would be cool. We can just do 3 tournaments if you want to do that. Yeah, go for it.
So the junior club had tournament on April 28th, which was actually my birthday at Otay. And going into it, a lot of people thought it was going to be a worm bite and bed fishing, which it was for a lot of people. But some of us got on a shad bite in certain coves, especially around mats. And it was just schools of like 2, 3, 400 fish just pushing
Wow.
shad in and out of the mat. I mean, the one school we were working was probably 400, 500 fish, even
That's
more under.
amazing.
Yeah. And they'd all come up synchronized at once and bust everywhere. And it was just a rush to throw your bait in. But they were finicky because they were chasing very specific bait. And it was big bait. It was like 4 or 5 inches long.
Yeah, I saw the lure that my daughter brought home.
Yeah.
and yeah, it was pretty good size. Yeah, that they were catching them on.
Yeah. So it was kind of just a waiting game. You'd wait for them to come up and bust. And while you were waiting for that, you'd kind of just poke around with like a jerk bait or an underspin, trying to catch any fish still waiting for the shad to get pushed back out from the mat.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it was just a fun time. And they were grouped up by size.
So you were in second place,
Yeah.
and what was your weight there?
About like 18 and a half, I think it was.
Man, what a day!
And then Big Fish was like 5.5
Yeah.
that I got.
So they were all that big. They were all 4 pounders.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then I lost about a 6.
Nice. Yeah. That's
All
cool.
mostly on the cool baits, the underspin.
Yeah.
That was the ticket.
Very good. Very
Yeah.
good. So do you have, speaking of cool baits, do have you had people hit you up like sponsors?
Yeah. So I am partnered with Cool Baits,
Uh-huh.
as well as like I'm supported by like Daiwa, Evergreen, Phoenix Rods,
Phoenix. Yeah.
a couple more companies.
Good.
But that's mostly it. NACO Tungsten.
Nice. That helps.
Yeah.
Good, good. That's great to hear. I'm glad they're supporting you. Okay, so what happened? So what was Havasu? I mean, it was leading, it was the preliminaries for a national event, but who ran it and what was it for?
So it was MLF High School. It was open on Havasu, and it was to qualify for the national championship this June. I'm blanking on the name of the director again. But basically, it was a pretty small tournament just after the pro MLF tournament that they had there. And I think there was only 19 boats. So
Yeah.
it was pretty small. Only first place qualified to go to nationals.
Yeah.
So we were stoked when we got first place and we were able to qualify.
So it was a 1-day tournament?
1-day tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 1-day tournament, 5 fish limit, 13 inches.
So you guys had a big fish there too, right? Or a couple good fish?
We had 2 good fish. So this is where it gets chaotic. We got Talon Patton, who was Ava's partner
Mm-hmm.
until Ava couldn't fish that tournament. Talon got a 6-pounder in the morning after I caught a couple of our smaller fish. He got a 6-pounder on light line, and it ran him straight into the toolies in a back upriver, about 15 feet back into the toolies. So I just went in and out with the trolling motor on 10 of those toolies and just crashed into them. And after about 20 minutes of doing that, we got the fish, and it somehow
No kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I remember doing that a long time ago at Lake Skinner. We would cast way back there with our flipping rods, way into like back pockets of the toolies, and we would have to use the big motor to get the. Once you'd hook a fish, you'd have to get on the big motor to cut through the toolies to get to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
then, but you got the winning fish at the end of the day, right?
Yeah. So when Talon got the 6, we had 3 fish. The rest of the day, we just grinded, kept our head down, focused. It was tough. Didn't get many bites. Got a couple short fish, and then eventually I filled our limit with a drop shot and chatterbait. Then I got like another 3.5-pounder that was a big call on chatterbait. I figured out it was a bedfish, so I had Talon pitch in. Where I caught it, he got another small call. And then we thought we had like 16 pounds is kind of what we were figuring we had. So we decided to run back down to the launch so we'd be early because we were quite a bit ways upriver. We didn't want to be late. And we got there earlier than we thought. So it was Windsor Beach, I think is where we launched from.
Mm-hmm.
We pulled off to an isolated hump, and I just saw like a wolf pack of probably 5.5 pounders on live scope. And I just threw a Demiki rig with a JDM bait and live scoped one in about 3 casts. And that was a 5.5 pounder that took us from like 16-ish pounds to 19 pounds 1 ounce. And that won us the tournament.
Nice. How much did you guys win it by?
Second place, I want to say, was 15 pounds. So
nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was either 15 or 16.
Yeah. Decisive. A decisive win.
And
Very
then
good.
there was a college tournament after us too, and the college winning bag was I think only 14.
No kidding. Yeah. Wow. Good job.
Yeah,
Talon's a pretty good fisherman. I like Talon.
Yeah, he got that one
guy.
fish. That one fish. That's all that mattered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that qualifies you to go to Hartwell?
Hartwell. So we're leaving probably about next week after the MLF Delta event this weekend, but we're leaving probably the 14th to go to Hartwell. And the event starts, I want to say, the 17th, 18th. It's a 3-day tournament, and if you make the cut, it's 4 days.
Can you call us and give us a report?
I will. Yeah.
Okay. I'll be in touch. That would be a great update. So you're going with Brenner wait a minute. Who are you going with to Hartwell?
So to Hartwell, because I qualified with Talon, we're fishing it with Talon.
Oh, okay.
I'm giving Ava back Talon for next season.
So
okay. For the next 3 years, I'll be fishing with Brenner Lynn.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah. Good. And then this last weekend, man, you're on a roll. This last weekend you won at Cap, and that was a big bag too, man. You had 17 pounds.
Yeah, 17.37, I think, something like that. Yeah, it was solid.
Yeah. Did you get him in the morning?
Nope.
No. So I was there yesterday. I was frog fishing yesterday. It was fun. It was a good time, but I didn't have 17 pounds. Not on
Yeah,
frogs anyway.
I knew there was a shad spawn. I knew there was a shad spawn going on. So it was actually one of the first times I got to go pre-fishing for a tournament, for a junior tournament. So that was cool. Thank you,
Yeah.
Carl Coleman, for taking me out.
Yeah.
And we tried the shad spawn, and we just figured out there weren't too many big fish.
Right. Yeah. That's
So
what I was seeing.
the next day, we had like a late boat draw, and I just decided to just go do what I'm good at, which is dragging, finessing them.
Yeah.
So worked on,
Um,
yeah.
who was your boater?
Wyatt Stevens was his name.
Oh, okay. I don't know Wyatt.
No, pretty new to fishing.
Yeah.
But
So you told him where to go?
yeah, basically.
Told him the hot spot.
So he kind of just drove me around, and I just told him where I wanted to go because I had found a pattern
Yeah.
the day before with Carter. We found one spot, and then he showed me another spot. And the next day, I just elaborated off that and found 4 or 5 spots that were similar, fished that, and dragged, and it worked out. Didn't
Yeah.
catch a single fish on a spinning rod the whole day, so that was cool.
Yeah. Yeah. That is cool. That's great. Um, so you're not fishing the TOC this weekend. You're busy.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, right on. And then, so you were saying now you're leaving again this weekend. You
Yeah.
or for the Delta.
For Delta after the MLF Pro event. Yeah. Leaving for California Delta.
And is that so? Why are you going to the MLF Pro event up there? Is it
So there's a May 6th rule, which basically means that after May 6th, any tournaments for the MLF high school then qualify you for the 2025 nationals or the following year.
oh
So,
okay?
yeah.
So if so, you're going to go with Brenner,
Yeah.
and this is it a team deal?
Yeah. It's a team tournament. So, all the MLF high school tournaments are team.
Okay, and so if you guys win this, will you go back? Are you double qualified for Hartwell, or are you're qualified for the next year, but is Brenner qualified for Hartwell?
So, if we win Delta, which actually it's top 10%. So, there will probably be about 50 boats at Delta, is what I'm
Mm-hmm.
presuming. So if we come top 5 and we qualify, then Brenner and I, as partners, would be qualified for 2025 nationals.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you won't have to worry about it and go through the whole process that you did this year.
Yeah, of traveling to Delta, Havasu. Yeah.
Or even fishing the opens here, because I guess Sean is going to run some opens again.
Sean is going to run 4 opens next season, once every month.
Yeah, he's going to have a lot on his plate. I'm going to interview him here tomorrow, I think it is. So I'm going to get the whole rundown from the juniors club from him tomorrow. But man, you are super busy. And okay, so kind of to top this off, how old are you?
I just turned 15.
No, I thought you were like 17. No
No,
kidding, you're 15.
I just turned 15 like a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
So, well, congratulations, young man. You got a bright future ahead of you.
Thank you.
And I'm glad you're on this path, and I'm glad your parents support you, and you're doing great.
Yeah, I love that my parents and sponsors and everyone who believes in me supports me, and I'm so grateful for that.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, I'll let you go. I think that's it. Do you want to plug anybody? Do you want to talk about your sponsors or anything? Just go ahead and knock yourself out
No,
right now.
I'd just like to thank my sponsors, like everyone who supports me, especially my parents for driving me everywhere and financially supporting me when they can, and putting up with my constant wanting to go fishing and improve my skills and chasing my dream.
Very
Yeah,
good.
thank you.
All right. Thanks a lot, Bryce. Thanks for coming on, and we'll talk to you later. We'll see you at the next one. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you. Have a nice day.